Hello everyone, my name is Hillary Hushke. I want to run you through a unit that I designed for my students to try to create the optimal learning environment, which gives them many different options to choose from in order to learn. I originally ran through this unit using Canvas with my students at the beginning of the year, and it didn't go exactly how I wanted it to, but the great thing is I had the opportunity to completely redesign it as an assignment for one of my courses at SVSU. So here is the course I designed. It was for a unit on conventions and sentence structure. So conventions would be things like capitalization, spelling, and grammar, and sentence structure would be complete sentences, subject verb agreement, and that sort of thing. So this is my homepage, and it says, where do I start? You will click on modules. I'm actually going to switch this to student view so that you can see how this is viewable from the student's perspective. So when they get on here, they have a lot less to see over here. So if you click on modules, you'll see that there's this module 0, which I use to keep all the classroom information. So it'll have the syllabus, it has the different proficiency scales that are used for students to see where they fall on the scale as far as their skill level. And then I have these mini scales because it's easier for the students to look it over and understand. This is a PowerPoint presentation about me, and that's just simply for an assignment. I model everything that I do, I try to, so that students have an expectation and they know what it is that I'm looking for. So module 1, oops, I have an overview for every single one of the modules, and it lets students know this is what we're going to do. Here is your target for this particular module. This is how it's going to help you. These are all the items you're going to complete for this particular model. And then they read all that information and they hit next. Next includes telling them what it is that they need to do for this particular assignment. They're writing a funny story. It gives some tips to help. They upload it when they're done. And then you move on to module 2. And this is where it starts getting a little bit more interesting. So again, it runs through all of the objectives of what students need to do, what they're going to do for capitalization and punctuation, and a final assignment, which is a formal email, because let's be honest, these kids don't always write the best emails. Mine are 8th graders. And so I want to make sure from the beginning of the school year, they know what the expectation is and how to write a formal email, either to their teachers, maybe to their parents, or someone else. In 8th grade, they have to sometimes ask for a letter of recommendation for a class they want to take in high school. So it's very good for them to know how to do that. So each of these modules are basically the same. So I have a capitalization rules PowerPoint, there's a capitalization rules document they can look at, and then I also include a video. So I try to include as many different mediums as I can for students to learn. Some might just need the document, some prefer a video, some need all three. And so I make sure all of these are available to them. So these are just their resources. Quill is a tool that I use that's specific to helping students with writing. So this runs them through the process of starting an account, and then there's a unit on capitalization that I have them complete. Most of the time, this will be independent when they finish other work, and it's kind of a supplement activity. Then there is this assignment on Padlet. So this tutorial video is great for students. It gives them, in 5 minutes or less, a rundown on how they can use Padlet to make a post. I explain what they need to do, and then here is the link to our Padlet. All they have to do is click on it, and here are the instructions as well as an example, because like I said, I like to model everything that I do for students. So I'm not going to run through everything because I don't want to make this video too long. But each student will run through the modules. There are different activities for them to do. Some are longer than others. And then module 5 is the final writing piece. And in this module, students are going to hopefully show growth by completing journal entry number 2. And we will hopefully see an increase in their scores for conventions and sentence structure. And this is a creative piece. They get to write about whatever they want. This is one of my favorite writing pieces, but they have to include these items here. And so it always ends up some of the most ridiculous stories I've ever read in my life, but also funny. And here again is an example, because I love to model everything, of what it would look like as they're writing and including what they need to include from the instructions. So that is a unit I designed for just 2 of our proficiency scales. It's meant to be used at the beginning of the school year. If you have any questions about this, please reach out.